Next, we're finding horizontal and vertical components. Keep in mind, horizontal is talking about x, vertical is talking about y. So when we have a vector with magnitude u and direction angle theta, we can find those horizontal and vertical components. Okay? The horizontal component, or the x component, is going to be magnitude u times cosine theta. So remember back all the times throughout the semester where I've said x goes with cosine, x goes with cosine. And y goes with sine. And so we've got formulas for finding the horizontal and the vertical components, or the x and the y. Because you're going to have a vector that's written in xy form, basically. That's usually what's going to happen. Okay? So example 2 says vector w has magnitude 25 and direction angle 41.7. Find the horizontal and vertical components. Horizontal is talking about x. So we can find that by saying the magnitude times cosine 41.7 degrees. Calculator, need a calculator, make sure it's in degrees. 25 cosine 41.7 is about 18.7. We also had to find the vertical component. Remember, the vertical component is the y, so we want y equals magnitude times sine theta. $16.6. So there we just found the horizontal and the vertical component. Now sometimes it might ask you to put it in vertex or in a vector form. So you might have to write it as a vector, and so it might look something like this. But that's the same thing. You've got your horizontal and your vertical right there. So in example 3, we're doing basically the same thing. It says write each vector in the figure in the form AB. So they want vector form. Keep in mind they're talking about x and y. So they're asking you for the horizontal and vertical components. I see 3 different vectors. Let's look at vector u, which is the blue one first. Notice that vector has magnitude 5 and direction angle 60 degrees. Okay, that's important. You've got a magnitude 5 and a direction angle 60 degrees. So vector u would equal, okay, let's look at the x component. It's going to be magnitude times cosine of the angle. And then the y component, or the vertical component, would be 5 times sine of that angle. So we can use a calculator maybe, but those numbers are in the chart, so let's use the chart. Anybody tell me what cosine 60 is? 1/2. And sine 60? Square root of 3/2. So if we if we multiply 5 times those things and put it in fraction form, we would get 5/2, comma 5 squared root of 3/2. There's vector u. Now if you look at vector v is actually going to be kind of easy because it's right on the axis. And so if you're smart, you already know that this is going to be negative 2, 0. Basically, that point is talking about the end, the terminal point. Okay, right at the end of it. Okay, but if you didn't know that, we can calculate it in the same way. We would do magnitude 2 times cosine of the angle and magnitude 2 times sine of the angle. Cosine 180 is negative 1. Sine 180 is 0. So if you clean that up, 2 times negative 1 is negative 2, and 2 times 0 is 0. There's a. So then we've got 280, we've got vector w, which is the green one down here, and that's going to be 6 cosine 280, 6 sine 280. And I'm not even going to mess with the chart or whatever. I'm just going to type this in. 6 cosine 280 is a nasty looking decimal. So let's round off to 1.04 for the x component. and 6 sine 280, negative 5.91 for the y component.